What is happening in the world of personal finance this week? All right, in this video, I'm going to break down some news on unemployment benefits and on the stimulus. Then I'm going to look at viewer comments, and I'm going to answer some questions, and I'm going to jump in and give you my take on the mask debate, to wear or not to wear. And stick around, because at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a really safe way to travel, see part of this country at a very low cost. Everybody, it is Jay Cradeur with the Rideshare Guy. Happy Labor Day weekend. Yeah. So today is Saturday, and I decided just an hour ago that I need to get out. I haven't been anywhere in like 6 months. So I just booked a hotel in Reno, Nevada. Yeah, beautiful. Get out to the mountains. It's going to be hot. They got a nice swimming pool, bunch of good food. So that's my plan. All right, let's jump into this. Okay, number one, personal financial news that impacts us. All right, so let's start off with what's happening here in California. Shocking. So what you see here is Uber and Lyft pour $70 million more on Prop 22. They're up to $180 million, putting it on track as one of the biggest ticket California initiatives ever. So what does this tell us? This tells us that Uber and Lyft really don't want drivers to be employees, because that would cost them so much more money. So they are fighting it. So instead of paying us, they're paying for advertising to convince Californians that it's the right thing for drivers to remain as independent contractors and not have any of the benefits of being an employee. I am in California, and I've started to see TV commercials, which are very, very compelling, I gotta say. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how this thing plays out on November 3rd. Okay, next, big news. The Trump administration announces nationwide eviction moratorium through the end of the year. So there are a lot of people struggling right now. Millions, tens of millions of people, right? They don't have any money coming in. The unemployment benefits have dried up, and they can't pay their rent. And we were coming to a cliff where if people weren't paying their rents, they were going to be evicted. Now, if you can prove that you were not working because of COVID-19, you cannot get evicted. If you are evicted, then the person who evicted you could actually go to jail and pay a pretty big fine. So if you have a legit reason why you're not working due to the COVID-19 and you can't pay your rent, you're okay until the end of the year. Okay, so we move now to the stimulus package. So shutdown prospects dim, but so do fiscal stimulus odds as Dems White House eyes separate tracks ahead of September free for all. So we were approaching another one of those government shutdowns, but it looks like already that they've worked that out, and there's not going to be any shutdown. But the funding for that has nothing to do with the stimulus package. So that's not good for those of us who are hoping to get more money in unemployment benefits, because now there's not a deadline. The deadline has been removed. Then we see, will economic news kickstart stalled stimulus talks? Okay, so the news they're referring to is a pickup in U.S. employment complicate talks on fiscal stimulus. So what happened was a report came out that said less people were unemployed than the week before. So that's supporting the theory that because people aren't getting as much money in unemployment benefits, more people are going to work. So if you look at this chart here, you can see how the number of people employed was going real strong. Looks like at about 155 million people. Then it dropped by 25 million when the coronavirus hit, and now it's worked its way halfway back. Okay, so there's still 15 or so, 20 million people not working. And what it says under this graph is interesting. Republicans, who put forth a smaller stimulus proposal than Democrats, took the report as a sign that the 600 supplemental weekly jobless payments that ended in late July had discouraged people from seeking jobs. Well, that may be true for some people. Economists said the latest gains largely reflected continuing reopenings, okay? Because again, if you look at that chart, there's a lot of businesses that are shut down because there's that many millions of people who are not working, right? Further improvement in the economy is likely to be slower, with beleaguered states preparing job cuts, larger firms announcing layoffs, and online schooling taking a toll on parents. All right, so that's very interesting information that comes from Bloomberg News. All right, number 2, questions and comments from viewers of the videos. So last Monday, this one came out about the $900 of unemployment benefits coming. And here's what we have. First, Superman Hopkins. Drivers, we want higher guaranteed pay. California passes law that requires Uber and Lyft to do that. Drivers say, boo, I hate California. So that's a good point. We wanted more money. We can get more money, but now we're saying, no, we don't want the money. We want to be independent contractors. Number 1 lesson from Corona, always have a rainy day fund. Absolutely. Hey, Jay, would you share with me your virtual assistant contacts? Much appreciated. Sure. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is a website called Upwork. Okay, so you can set up an account there. It's free. And then you would just put out a bid. Okay, say I'm looking for somebody to work for me for, say, 10 hours a week. And and then you'll get a lot of people applying from all over the world. That's exactly how I found my virtual assistant, Abdur, from India. He was one of 4 people that applied, and then I asked a few questions, and it was pretty clear he was the guy, and I've been working with him now for 7 months. So Upwork. Okay, back to the comments. Great. Never been treated like this. Okay, so this is Jean Flores, all right, who was deactivated and is asking for advice. And I wish I could give you some, but there's not much you can do. This is one of the problems about being an independent contractor for Uber and Lyft. They can just do whatever they want to you, and there's no ramifications. In my case, I just persistently asked them for an update. They told me what was going on. I got as much information as I could to bolster my case. Eventually, they just said it was a technical error. They apologized and sent me a $1,000 bonus, but that was 6 weeks later. Okay, the next one was the mask policy, the new mask policy that Uber put out. And interesting, last dance. I honestly can't believe you bought into this BS. So he's basically saying that wearing a mask is BS, right? China had been wearing masks, muzzles, he calls them, for years, and it didn't stop the BS virus. So a lot of BS in this comment from last dance. So the fact that people are wearing masks is questioned, and the fact that 185,000 people have died, I guess, is questioned. Next comment, some areas, 75% of people refuse to wear the mask. Okay, so I went to the Mayo Clinic, okay? The Mayo Clinic, that's where people go when they have like the worst cancers and diseases, right? That's like the gold star, the highest level of medicine, all right? And I went there to find out about masks, right? I mean, because there's so many people that say wearing a mask is not doing any good, and I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed. I'm open to being told I'm wrong, right? I mean, sure, it's easier not to wear a mask, but I started to think about every time I've been in the hospital, the doctors, they wear a mask, right? If I'm sick, I'm going to sneeze into a piece of tissue, right? It makes sense to me that it catches stuff, right? So in the Mayo Clinic, cloth mask, that's what most people wear, right? They're not wearing the N95 ones, right? Cloth face coverings are most likely to reduce the spread of COVID-19 virus when they are widely used by people in public settings. And countries that require face masks, testing, isolation, and social distancing early in the pandemic have successfully slowed the spread of the virus. This is the graph that I find upsetting. Okay, this is the United States, so we are the orange one, okay? We're the orange one. So we went up really high in April, and then we kind of flattened out. Then this whole mask thing started to happen, and people stopped wearing masks and social gatherings and all of that, and we had this explosion. And now we're kind of coming down a little bit and plateauing. The only country that's worse than us right now is India, okay? India, where people live so close together, right? They can't even get apart from each other. But countries like Italy, that were so bad in the beginning, they're not even on this, right? Number 3, how can we get away from it all? All right. So first I'm showing you RV share, okay? So you don't have to go out and buy an RV, but you can just go and rent one, okay? Rent one for very cheap. So I clicked on one of these, and look, a little RV, you can attach it to the back of your car, $59 for a night. That's cheaper than many hotels. And you can just drive around wherever you want to go for a week, see some beautiful parts of our country, and pay very little. Then you can also join the Harvest Hosts, okay? And links for both of these are right below, okay? So you can check these out. And Harvest Hosts, you just pay a fee, right? It's like $80, right, for a year. And then you'll have access to wineries and breweries and places where you can go and get a free night. So I circled the one here. We wanted to check out some of the Harvest Hosts near our home. We are 40 minutes away from Iota, California. And each of the 4 wineries and produce places we mentioned were belonged to Harvest Hosts. They were literally excited to hear that. We felt so welcome. We can't wait to take our 5th wheel and spend a night at each of them. Thank you, Harvest Hosts. And that was Rhonda L. So it's an invitation, right? You can pretty inexpensively take a nice little trip, social distance because you're in your own RV, and go to some pretty cool places when you put those two together. And again, the links are just below the video. Key takeaways. Bit discouraged this week, I gotta say. It doesn't look like the $600 till the per week till the end of the year is going to happen at this point. It seems like all the news is not good in that regard. So that's a little bit discouraging. Our country's a little bit discouraging as well, right? We got violence and riots all over the country. We don't seem to have any leadership that's trying to quell it, but rather incite it. That's frustrating to me. Can't travel anywhere because of how poorly we've dealt with the COVID-19, can't get out of the country. So just kind of it's an opportunity to be grateful for the things you've got and be patient. That's what I've got to do. Be grateful for what I've got and be patient. And that's my takeaway. Be grateful for what you got and be patient. And just keep working hard on whatever your plan B is. And, things always go down and then they go up, right? All right, great. Thanks for watching the video. It's Jay Cradeur saying go out and have a great day. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, subscribe. Give this baby a thumbs up. When you do subscribe, be sure and sign up for notifications so you can find out about the next YouTube Live that Harry will do. All right? Go have a great day. Be safe and wear a mask.